Proudly brought to you by American Designs, where creativity meets community and country. At American Designs, we believe in the values that make this country great: hard work, creativity, and quality. They're your hometown partner for print-on-demand products that turn ideas into cozy custom apparel, thoughtful gifts, and so much more. Focus on building your dreams, all while staying rooted in American tradition. Check out American Designs of the Farmers Market podcast page or on Facebook for a direct link to their story.
Great day, everybody. My name is Stephen Holt, and you're listening to the Farmers Market Podcast.
Strolling through the market, it's a beautiful day. Fresh picked produce just a step away. Meat and dairy from the farm to your plate. Homemade crafts that are truly great. Keep it fresh, keep it local. Celebrate the heart of the community focal. From veggies to honey, there's so much to see. The Farmers Market Podcast is the place to be.
Now, let's get started with today's episode featuring this week's Market Highlight of the Week, a seasonal gardening tip for January in South Carolina, and of course, we'll have our feature Farm of the Week. There's a lot going on at the market today, so buckle up and let's make the most of this hayride. Hey there, listeners. Let's talk about a local treasure that's turning chilly Saturdays into a warm and welcoming experience. It's the Frosty Farmer Winter Market in Greenville, South Carolina. I mean, this just isn't any farmer's market. It's a bustling indoor event set inside McAllister Square, the beloved former mall. If you've ever been there when there's not a lot of action going on, it's pretty quiet. But from January through the end of April, the Frosty Farmer transforms this space into a lively hub featuring the best of the season from local farmers, growers, bakers, and makers right here in the upstate. Here's what makes it so special. Every Saturday, you'll find 107 vendors. And throughout the season, they showcase more than 170 total vendors. So some of the vendors are there weekly, while others pop in, once a month. So there's always something new to discover, whether it's a farm fresh produce, homemade baked goods, handcrafted gifts, or some unique artisan products. There's truly something for everyone. And it's not just about shopping. There's so much happening. The Frosty Farmer Winter Market offers live music and DJs, a bounce house for the kiddos, free community yoga. You may see me do yoga one day one time this season. We'll see. Anyway, food trucks and even a Taps trailer. It's a full-on experience, perfect for the whole family. Now here's the one detail I really love, and for the older folks out there and for folks that are on a fixed income, they accept SNAP benefit and offer a Healthy Bucks match of $15 with a minimum $5 SNAP purchase. It's an amazing way to make fresh, local food accessible to everyone in the community. Now, let's talk a little bit about the logistics of where this farmer's market is located. They've thought of everything. The market is open from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Parking is free and plentiful. If you've ever been out at McAllister Square, it's huge. There's lots of parking. The location is 225 South Pleasantburg Drive in Lawrence Road. It's 225 South Pleasantburg Drive in Lawrence Road. It's just before you get to Greenville Tech. It's super convenient, just minutes from I-85. Plus, they have on-site janitorial and security service. It's a clean, safe, and fun indoor environment, perfect for when the weather outside isn't so great. And right now, the weather's not. It's really cold. So if you're looking for a way to brighten up your winter weekends this season, make sure you check out the Frosty Farmer Winter Market at McAllister Square. It's a community-focused space where you can shop local, grab a bite to eat, enjoy live music, and even squeeze in some yoga if you're the yoga type. And you can do this all under one roof. For more information, I want you to head to our Facebook page, or you can head to their Facebook page at facebook.com, people, Frosty Farmer Greenville. You know what? It's better. Just go to my page, the Farmers Market Podcast page, or we'll probably have a link below that you can click, and we'll keep it updated with, vendor highlights and weekly activities and all that good stuff. So don't miss out. Join the market on Saturdays all winter long at the Frosty Farmer Winter Market. It's Greenville at its finest. Trust me, once you'll visit, you'll see why the Frosty Farmer Market is such a beloved part of the Travelers Rest community, or the would you say Greenville community. So grab your reusable bags. We want to think recycle, repurpose. Put on some comfy shoes and head out. Well, you might want to grab a jacket in the next couple of weeks, but head out for a day of shopping, snacking, and supporting local. I mean, you won't regret it. That's it. That's all I've got for this market highlight of the week. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hey, today we're heading down to Sharon, South Carolina to visit Sharon Hill Farm. It's our feature farm of the week. It's a family-run operation with a passion for keeping it back to basics. Now, before we get into the heart of Sharon Hill Farm, let's talk about Sharon the town. Nestled in York County, this little gem of South Carolina boasts a population of about 500 people. It's the kind of place, where everybody knows your name, and if you forget your manners, your grandma will hear about it before dinner. Here's a little fun fact about Sharon. The name comes from the biblical region known for its fertile plains. And if you've ever seen the farmland here, you know that's pretty spot on. It's no wonder a place like Sharon Hill Farm thrives. Fertile land, hardworking folks, and a community spirit as strong as their sweet tea. All right, let's talk about Sharon Hill Family Farm. The family-owned and operated farm began its journey back in 2016 with a vision to get back to the roots of farming. Originally, the farm's name combined the hometown of its founding families, but today it's run by the Scroggins family, right in the heart of Sharon. Their mission? To provide healthy, sustainable food for your table. And when they say back to basics, they mean it. Their tagline perfectly captures their philosophy of farming as naturally as possible. Their cattle are grass-fed, their chickens and turkeys roam free on pasture, and even their ducks are living their best lives. From chicken and duck eggs to pasture-raised pork and beef, everything is done with care, love, and a commitment to regenerative practices. Think about it. These animals are basically living the farm equivalent of a luxury day spa. Fresh grass, sunshine, and all the bugs they can eat. That's farm-to-table bliss in the animal kingdom. But Sharon Hill Farm isn't just about high-quality products. It's about the unwavering belief that happier animals mean healthier, tastier food for us, and I believe that too. Honestly, it's what we all want. Whether it's their grass-fed beef or their pasture-raised chicken, you can taste the difference. Speaking of taste, let's not forget their eggs. These aren't your average store-bought eggs, folks. We're talking rich, golden yolks from happy, free-roaming hens and ducks. And if you're looking for a turkey for the holidays, you'll want to get your order in early. Those pasture-raised birds are in high demand. Seriously, their turkey is so good, it could probably end a family argument at Thanksgiving. Probably. Maybe. Depends. Depends what the argument was about. But what makes Sharon Hill Farm even more special is the Scroggins family's dedication to keeping their animals' lives as natural as possible. From ensuring their cattle graze on lush pastures to letting their chickens roam free. As a part of South Carolina's rich farming tradition, Sharon Hill Farm fits perfectly into the tapestry of agriculture that keeps this state thriving. And I don't know if you knew this or not, but South Carolina is one of the top agricultural states in the country. From peaches to peanuts, it's a state brimming with fresh possibilities. And Sharon Hill Farm is a shining example of what can be achieved when passion meets tradition. The Scroggins family works tirelessly to provide not just food, but a connection to the land. And it's no wonder their motto, back to basics, resonates so deeply. It's about respect for the land, for the animals, and for the people who enjoy the fruits of their labor. So whether you're in the mood for pasture-raised chicken, rich creamy duck eggs, grass-fed beef that will elevate your next meal, Sharon Hill Farm has you covered. You can even order online if you're not local, because why should great food have limits, right? Thanks for joining me on this journey to Sharon Hill Farm, where back to the basics is more than a tagline. It's a way of life. Hey, welcome back to the Farmers Market Podcast. Now, this is the part where I get a little dirty, and I don't mean in that way. This is green thumbs only, but we're going to dig into all things fresh, local, and leafy here on the podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Holt, if you've forgotten already. Today, we're talking about something that's going to make your garden the envy of the neighborhood, even in the wintertime, in the dead of winter. And we haven't hit it yet. A lot of people around here know that in February, sometimes we get shocked. In March, we've gone all the way into April sometimes and gotten snow, believe it or not. I know. For Northerners, it's a little different. They get it all the time. But we're going to dive into how to prepare for cool season crops in January, like right now. So grab your gardening gloves, maybe a cup of hot cocoa or tea or coffee, and let's get our hands dirty, figuratively for now. First, let's address the elephant in the room. Gardening in January? Seriously? Stefan, you're going to talk about gardening? I know. It's cold. My yard is, it looks like a haunted hayfield. And the last thing I want to do is go outside. Trust me, I get it. But here's the thing. January is prime time for cool season crops. It's like the pregame show for your garden, and you don't want to miss it. I mean, it's Super Bowl's coming up, so it's kind of like that. You don't want to miss all the stuff leading up to the kickoff. So think of it like this. Your garden is like a diva. You can't just throw seeds at it and expect a standing ovation. You got to pamper it, prep it, give it a little TLC, and that's what January is all about. So let's get to the nitty gritty. First up, soil prep. Now, I know talking about dirt isn't exactly thrilling, but hear me out. Just your soil is like the VIP section of your garden. If it's not up to par, your plants are going to look like they've had a rough night. So what do? Well, you can test it. Get yourself a soil test kit, Clemson Extension. I'm not sure if they give them out for free now, but you can actually send it to the Clemson Extension. And you need to get a checkup basically for your yard. You're looking for the Goldilocks zone, not too acidic, not too alkaline, just right. If your soil needs a little love, now's the time to amend it with compost or organic matter. And I know a lot about compost. I was the VP of marketing at a compost company right smack in the upstate, Atlas Organics. And I don't mind giving them some press because they're good folks and the product was great. We don't want to dump your leftover coffee grounds into the dirt. That probably doesn't count. I mean, nice try, but you got to do the composting thing with your coffee grounds. And I'll probably have a segment on that later in the season because I'm a big composter. Instead of throwing it out and sending it to the landfill, and there's a whole, I've got reason after reason after reason why that's not a good thing. And anyway, we can talk about composting later. But next on the list is crop selection. So January is a perfect time to plan what seeds you're going to buy if you haven't already bought them. Think, if you're trying to get things in the ground right now, think leafy greens like kale, spinach, lettuce. These are veggies that kind of basically laugh in your face during chilly weather. Oh, it's 40 degrees. Bring it on, man. That's kind of kale. That's my best kale impersonation. But you've also got root veggies like carrots, beets, and radishes. Basically, it's the underground A-team, all right? Those are the ones you're looking at right now. So here's a tip for all my South Carolina listeners. Well, most of my listeners anyway. The climate here is your best friend. In a place like Sharon, which we talked about earlier, or anywhere in York County, you've got the mild winters that make cool season crops thrive. So, and here's a fun fact. South Carolina's winters are pretty mild. They're basically summer with a hoodie. So if you're in the Palmetto State, you're already winning the gardening game. So let's talk about one of my favorite parts of gardening. It's seed starting. This is awesome. It's one of the most rewarding times in a gardener or a farmer's life is when you drop the seed and it germinates, but you still got to drop the seed. So you can begin indoors. You can give your crops a head start while the weather is figuring itself out, right? We may have 40, 50 degree temperatures and the next day we're down in the teens. So grab some seed trays, a little potting mix, and set them up in a sunny window. It's kind of like a baby plant nursery. And honestly, it's kind of cute and adorable, and it's quite inexpensive compared to normal daycare. So if you're feeling a little ambitious, invest in a grow light. They're pretty cheap and you can find them anywhere. I won't mention some of those box stores that you can get them from, but you could probably get it in your house in less than 24 to 48 hours. It's kind of like Instagram's ring light for your plants. They won't be able to take selfies, but everything looks better under it. Trust me. One more thing. Don't forget to mulch if you like mulching. Actually, I'm going to hopefully borrow my son, and I hope he's listening. He's got a big mulcher that I need because all our trees are down and there's plenty of wood to go around. So mulching is a good thing right now. Mulching not only keeps the soil warm, but it also helps retain moisture. It's kind of the blanket for your garden. Plus, it cuts down on weeds. And weeds are, I could go on and on about weeds. So let's be real. Nobody's got time for those freeloaders. So what's the takeaway here? January is your garden's chance to shine, even if it's not quite ready to sprout yet. A little prep work now means fresh greens, crunch carrots, and let's be honest, serious bragging rights come spring. And who doesn't want to brag to the neighbors about the garden? Come on, or your crops, or your food, or your little raised bed that you had going on for 6-9 months and nothing's happened. Isn't that what it's all about? But anyway, it's also about eating delicious homegrown food. But the bragging rights, man, it's a pretty close second. So, all right, folks, that's all I've got for today's segment and gardening tip of the week. Remember, gardening is like life. It takes patience, preparation, and an occasional facepalm when something doesn't go as planned. And that's a wrap, folks. We made it together through this episode of the Farmers Market Podcast in good spirits, a little humor, and lots of information. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of the Farmers Market Podcast. If you've enjoyed our segments, whether it was the market highlight of the week, if you had an itching to shop local, the feature farm spotlight that made you dream of country living, or our garden tips that might find you actually, growing carrots or making an Instagram-worthy post, you're officially part of the freshest crew around. You can catch every episode at thefarmersmarketpodcast.com. It's like visiting a farmer's market without the early wake-up call or the accidental tumble of tomatoes. We're also hanging out on Facebook, where you can find us at facebook.com, Farmers Market Podcast. Follow us, share a comment, or drop a photo of your latest market haul. Bonus points for oddly shaped vegetables, no less. And hey, if you've got a farm, a market, or a great story to share, we'd love to have you on as a guest. Just visit our website, click Be a Guest, and let us know why you'd make the perfect addition to the podcast. And who knows, your story could inspire the next wave of local farmers and food lovers everywhere. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for listening. And remember, here on the Farmers Market Podcast, we keep it fresh, we keep it local. See you next time.
Strolling through the market, it's a beautiful day. Fresh picked produce just a step away. Meat and dairy from the farm to your plate. Homemade crafts that are truly great. Keep it fresh, keep it local. Celebrate the heart of the community focal. From is the place to be. Learn about the farmers and the seeds they sow, the beekeeper's secrets and how gardens grow. Homesteading wisdom, tips galore. Every week, there's always more. Keep it fresh, keep it local. Celebrate the heart of the community focal. From veggies to honey, there's so much to see. The Farmer's Market podcast is the place to be. The cluck of the chickens, the buzz of the bees, fresh air and sunshine, it's all you need. Connecting with the farmers, the crafters too. Every episode there's something new. Keep it fresh, keep it local. Celebrate the heart of the community focal. From veggies to honey, there's so much to see. The Farmer's Market podcast is the place to be. So grab your basket and come along. Tune in each week for the freshest song.